Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is It's Me Time podcast with Marie-Ève Mongrain. It is good to talk to you again today. It's been a while since I've done the recording, but you guys have been up to date. Every week you had something. I follow my inspiration. I follow my intuition. I follow the highest excitement. And now that it was exciting to do a podcast with you guys, I was very busy, which is great. I did think about you and about different subjects and what I could gather for you guys. So I am Marie-Ève Mongrain, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you. I'm a mindset life coach. I am located in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, for those who don't know where that is. So north of the United States. I do not know where you guys are from, and I would love to connect more with you guys. It's fun to do podcasts, but I don't know where you guys are from, whoever my listeners are. And I would love if you guys could leave comments, or if you want to message me, or you can follow me on Instagram at MarieMongrain90. So that's MarieMongrain 90. Same for TikTok. I am there a lot less than before, but I'm still there, and I enjoy watching content, but I also enjoy, doing some videos once in a while, just to have some fun. So for those who don't know me, please feel free to go watch some other videos that I've done before. For the first 20 episodes of my show, I did them with Jill Nicolini, the amazing Jill Nicolini. We had so much fun. And what I noticed is, I don't know for you guys, but for me, sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, and I'm okay with that. Sorry. It is fun to have someone there with us. Do you agree? For me, it is fun to have someone there beside me, even though they would do nothing. It's better than being alone. Just not because it's better to have someone like just for nothing, but in my case, I get stuff done. I get stuff done. When Jill is there, I have to show up, as if I'm not good enough to show up for myself. But at the same time, I'm missing that connection with people, right? I would love if you guys would send me anything, how I've helped you in the past. I got like 25 shows, almost 30 shows now, already on the different platforms, on my YouTube channel. I also put them on my website, which is MarieEveMongrain.com. And yeah, so if you guys, I would love to know how my podcast has helped you. What do you want to hear more about? Because I can talk about a lot of stuff. I do have a lot of life experience for a 36-year-old person. Let me tell you that. I used to be a teacher. I work in hotel and restaurant. I studied in hotel management. I was a substitute teacher. I'm a widow. I've been a widow for the past almost 5 years now. I'm a single mother of 2 little girls. So when my husband passed away, I had 2 babies. One was 6 months old. The other one was 6 months old. And the other one was 2.5 years old. So dealing with parenting on my own and trying to make my life as easy as possible was one of the reasons I wanted to share my knowledge with people. Then I became a life coach in neurosciences. So I became an applied neurosciences life coach, because for me, the brain was so good. I love how the brain works, because when my husband passed away, and that's something I'm going to talk about more in the next couple of weeks, that I want to share with you, is a little more about my grieving journey and my journey as the wife of a husband who died of cancer, and what happened, as much as the love relationship, because we met when we were 19, and we were together for 14 years. It's pretty awesome. And in my grief journey, which I was like, I'm not grieving, but now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, girl, you were, right? You can see the emotions that came out of that, and the mindset that came. But my goal was to heal and come back to this union with myself, because I was so angry at him and doubting and stuff. Not at the beginning. In the beginning, everything was beautiful. But then as I heal, because the thing is with grief, and I think it's with just any big event in your life, right? I was on top of the world. I had a husband, had 2 babies. I had 1 baby and 1 on the way. 5 days later, we learned that he had cancer. But at that time, I didn't know law of attraction. Now, the after me, it was like, I should have known that. How did I not know that? I would have saved him. Felt so guilty. And I know I'm not the only one about like feeling guilty of being the survivor, being guilty of being, no, I should have done more. That's being out of control, right? The grief journey is like allowing to be out of control and coming back to a state of not judging yourself, which for me, I did so much. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was mentally ill. I was doing things out of who I was, out of character. But I noticed it was because I was going through emotional abuse by people. People were not treating me the way I should have been treated. And therefore, I was finally reacting because I did not care if I lost them. Right? I lost the best thing that happened to me, which was my husband. So at one point, you're like, cut your losses. My peace of mind is worth better than loyalty to people who are mistreating me, who are not even caring about my emotional state, right? Which I was not myself either. So they were just reflecting. Anyway, so I will be sharing some of the good moments. Like I want to share with you guys. I did it on TikTok, but I mean, you guys are not on TikTok. So I am not doing you a favor by saying, hey, go on TikTok and go watch like last year's video. Why would I do that? And when I can share them with you right now, like when I can share everything with you. And last week, the last video I've done, the last podcast I did, I was live at a conference. I was live at the Awakening Salon in Lévis, which is on the south shore of Quebec. And it was the first time I had a booth. It was a salon. There was, I don't know, maybe 2,000 people that came. I didn't get 2,000 people. My conference in the end, you guys, so just an update. I will do a little update on that one. I had 17 people who showed up at my conference, but it was so good because there are people that actually showed up, right? I can oh my God, the room was super empty. Or I can say, these people needed me. They needed to hear something I had in mind, right? I had a message for them. The universe had a message for them that came through me. And it was good. And what I enjoyed of that conference is that it allowed me to see what I want to share or not, right? Because I was talking about the beginning of how, who I was, my little grieving journey, my husband, and then I share a couple of things about love attraction and how we create our reality and how we can impact as within, so without. But then what came up, at the end, I was like, man, I talk too much, in my opinion, about my grief and about my husband than about what I want to share, the keys I want to share with people there. So I know that there are different, so I'm like, oh my God, I just have 2 conferences now, right? Instead of having one and want to cram everything in one and have both, talking about the grieving journey and talking about love attraction. No, I'm like, oh my God, that event has helped me saying, hey, you have 2 conferences now that you can offer. One solely about your, the journey of your husband's cancer, you as the widow, you can focus on that. And then you can focus also on a different conference on the love attraction and how we create our reality and helping people finding love within themselves, right? And how to create that reality for themselves. I'm like, this is genius. So instead of beating myself up for not having gone through my whole PowerPoint, because at the end, I'm like, there's 5 slides I didn't do. I gave myself that grace and compassion and saying, they got what they needed, right? Because who's going to validate that? Who gets to validate that I did well or not? I do. I get to decide. And for me, I was like, man, I showed up today. I am one of the people that paid money to go and heal people, right? I don't get paid. People are not paying me to heal them. I pay money to show up at an event. And I know that by being present, people heal. I'm the one paying money to heal people by showing up. I was there for them. And to be able to be there after what I went through, I was like, you know what? Doesn't matter. Does not matter what happened. Doesn't matter if you've skipped a bunch of slides. They don't know. First of all, people don't know, right? Unless I tell them, oh my God, you didn't see the last 5 slides. And even people don't care. They just wanted to see me. They came to see, hey, what can I get out of this? And if they leave, they're going to be either disappointed or not, but that is not on me, right? So that's one thing that you guys need to know is you validate yourself. So if there's something you did not say to someone, or at an event, or say, oh my God, I forgot to say this. Believe and trust that your higher self did not make you say this for a reason. That person in front of you either did not believe it, so you would not have been like validating their opinion, right? Because everybody says something that is a match to our energy. So if you don't say anything, it's because they were not meant to hear that story. They were not there yet on an energetic level, right? They were not in the receiving mode. So that is something you can give yourself and say, well, you know what? I showed up. People can complain, oh my God, it was terrible. Are you the one on the stage? Are you the one who paid to be on stage and get out of your comfort zone and show up and show off? I had this beautiful dress. If you see my last video, man, beautiful dress. And I'm like, this is my signature now. But it was good because I was there, and I was honestly, I was the first conference of the weekend at 9:30. The salon opened at 9, first at 9:30. I still had 17 people show up. And at first I was like, oh my God, I'm the first one. I get to set the tone for the weekend. Oh yeah. And I was like, man, because I'm the first one, people have not come and been crowded, right? At one point, the goal is that people will drive and come and see me, doesn't matter what time, because they know me, right? Now they didn't know me. I heard people like coming from Montreal, like they drove 3 hours to come and see that one conference at 4 o'clock or whatever, right? So I know this is going to be me one day, but right now, and it was okay, right? I was okay with how things worked out. I was excited to set the tone for the day. Somebody's going to do it. And it was me. And so I was like, yeah. And when I was in school, in a high school and whatever, and we had an oral presentation, I would always volunteer to be first. So the universe volunteered me to be first. Next month, though, on May 13, 14, 15, I believe, yes, I have the women's salon. My conference is on the Saturday at 4:15. Now I'm going to be right in the prime of that event. And that's going to be like when people are in, like it's the weekend, people are in, and I'll be on stage. And now I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more people, even though like they're expecting a lot, like there are 7,500 goodie bags that are offered to people when they come in. And I've given them my cards last week. I went to did that. And it's like, holy crap, 7,500 people around for the weekend are going to go around the booth. They might not all come to my place, but they all have my business card and a discount off the seminar I offer. So even though I don't see them, my energy is in those bags. They get to take me home, right? And yeah, so like when you look at energy in that sense, I don't need people to come and talk to me. I will be there, and I already changed the energy in that room just by simply being there, right? And that is anybody, right? This is why when you come into a place, the energy changes because it reflects your energy. It reflects your energy. And for me as a coach, it's important. Like my goal is that you can actually just see me on a piece of paper, on a picture, and heal from that. Like that is actually my literal goal. It is. So it's important for me to love myself and heal myself, because as within, so without, by just seeing me, boom, things will change, right? And I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm kind of God, but like, that if you go in the spiritual world, we are all gods. We are the universe experiencing itself. And I still have a hard time saying I'm God, but I want to be a goddess. I'm saying I'm a goddess. I'm definitely a queen. Stepping into my queen energy and just validating everything I say. I truly believe it, right? If I don't say it, if I was to say it, just know it's my opinion. It's not everybody else's opinion, right? And I don't know if I've ever given that example. And it's an example from Abraham Hicks that I love, 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 love. And I say it because sometimes I need to remind myself, right? Life, your life that you choose is like a recipe. Imagine you're doing a vanilla cake. And I'm sure I've told you, but if it's the first time, it's a great reminder. So you're doing a vanilla cake recipe. You're following the recipe. And, in your pantry, you got like sugar, flour, you got a bunch of spices, like there's cayenne pepper and like there's vanilla. Are you upset that there's cayenne pepper in your pantry? No, because when you do your recipe, You don't need it. You just need vanilla, sugar, flour. So you just like, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna grab that, move over the little cayenne pepper and grab the, I don't know, the cloves in the back, right? You don't care whatever is there because it's just there. If you ever need it, it's there. Man, my spice rack, I must have like, so 5, 10, 20. I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm just looking at over my fridge. I think I got like 20 or 25 spices. It's a pretty rack. I got like 25 spices, and I think I use like 5 out of all of them. I think most of them I've been there for 2-3 years and I still not use them. I'm not complaining about them. Oh God, I got cayenne pepper, right? I don't complain. I just don't care. I'm like, oh, this is pretty bottle. So it's the same thing in life, right? People have cancer, people go to war, people have this and that, and all those bad lucks happening in their lives. And we get afraid, right? Our brain, especially when we watch movies, and me as a kid, we get to grab whatever we want. So if somebody got hit, I remember for me, one of my gymnastic teacher, I was a kid, I was like 5 or 6. Her friend got crushed by a rock. Okay. When you go to Montreal, there's this place where when you drive, there is this like very like rock mountains, rocky, very close to the highway. She got crushed by one of those rocks when she, like her friend. And I heard that story. And every time I would go by that way to go to Montreal, man, I was afraid. I fear for my life every time I would go in that area, every single time. But if I would have said, this is just her recipe, it does not have to be, I don't have to have that in my recipe, right? When my husband had cancer, I was not worried about my life, not whatsoever. My mom had cancer. I was not worried about my life. They all said it's not hereditary. Perfect. Man, later on, I felt like I dodged a bullet. And then I started being afraid for my life. I started being afraid. Oh, I'm hurting here. I'm hurt. Oh, there's a bump here. I was afraid I was getting cancer. But in the end, if you go that, hey, cancer is also just a recipe on that shelf. I don't need to put it in my cake. Somebody else did, but not me. I don't have to. But we create our reality and we get to choose what we want in our cake. So once you start seeing life like this, you're starting to be able to release stuff that does not belong for you, that you do not desire. You can have appreciation saying, oh, thank you for the contrast. Like I'm seeing this happening in your life, and focus on what you actually want, right? So if it's on the right side and it's like, okay, thank you. Now what do you want? I want this. Then the universe is going to bring you what you want, right? And when I was talking about when I need someone to be there for me to do something, it's a lot easier. If I know there's somebody coming over, and I know I'm not the only one. Believe me, I know you guys. If you're listening to this, you probably have a little bit of like me here, where you have someone saying, hey, I'm going to come over. You're like, yay. Then you get to clean your house. It happens for me. And so it's the same thing in a lot of things, right? It's not that I don't want to do it. It's like, I don't really care. Oh, my dishes isn't done. Like I do enjoy when it's clean, but if I don't have to do it, I prefer doing something way more fun, right? I'm learning to have more fun instead of doing chores. I do enjoy doing my chores when I'm in alignment with them. Like I just raked my backyard. I went to get some little fences so my dog can be free, which I still need to fix. But I got a new rake. I mean, this is exciting, right? Some people have a yacht and a mansion and I don't know, whatever, like sea-doos and stuff. I enjoyed going to the hardware store and looking at the rakes and looking at the lawnmower. My masculine energy definitely, I know, has been primed for that in my younger years. I used to, oh my God, like enjoying sitting on a tractor to mow the lawn. Like my dad had a kind of a baseball field lawn, but we needed a tractor. It still took 4 hours to do it. So like I've been raised in doing chores and I had to do them. So like may as well have fun. So like just learn, like I couldn't drive a car. So I drove a tractor, like a lawnmower. That was the first thing I was able to drive, and just being able to tan. For me, was just being able to enjoy the sun and to tan, because every experience I go through comes with the emotions, like the feel. I don't care what it is, as long as I can feel it, right? And that's something I have to learn to manifest my dream life, which is not, right now I'll be honest. I am not gonna be like looking at everything and like, oh, this is my dream house. I know it's not my dream house. Okay. There's a lot of things that are falling apart here. So I'm not like, I'm not caring. But I had lots of frustration the past week. And in the end, what I did is I'm like, how were these things actually happening for me? Right? Because life happens for us. So if I was honest with me, I'm like, oh, it's not that people hated me, it's me who hated people. I didn't like, I'm sorry about all the beeps messages coming in through. So I don't know if you guys can hear them. But I was like, oh my God, that group of friends in high school that I still had resentment for, ignoring me and dropping me out of the gang. I'm like, you know what? It's not me who wasn't good enough. It's them who weren't good enough for me, and the universe just moved them out of me, out of my field, right? So, because if I'm honest, sitting in the agora and chatting during recess, sitting during recess, and I'm sorry, my girl is there. I'm like trying to focus here. So sitting at recess doing nothing, or sitting with people, I'm like, I was looking at all the clicks there. I'm like, I don't feel it. Like, I'm not a basketball player. I'm not a volleyball player. I'm not a musician. I'm not this, and I'm like, right. I couldn't find where I belong, but I enjoyed working. I went to work at the cafeteria on lunch. Because first of all, when you're somebody who's rejected, it feels like crap when people don't invite you. Okay, so maybe you want to teach that to your kids. I wanted to be invited. I was not somebody who would go and impose myself. I wanted to be invited, which did not quite happen. It did happen. I would not say it didn't happen, because it did happen, and I appreciate. Her name was Jasmine. Like, she was 2 years older than me, and oh my God, like the feeling of like, I'm invited was so amazing. But I went to work at the cafeteria, because when you walk in a school that has over 1,000 people and you don't know where you're going to sit, it's a horrible feeling. Honestly, it's a horrible. I could just go. Now, if I was working, I got to leave a little bit earlier my class, and I got free meals, which was amazing because I didn't have to eat just leftover from my house. And I enjoyed it. Oh my God, like seriously. I also volunteered at the school store. Man, typing on the till. I don't know if you guys have ever done any work, right? I get happy doing basic stuff. Seriously, at the till for the shop at the store, beep 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 beep. They're pressing at the button, the handing of the money. It was so good. And then I was making orders. So my boss, she would go and get the stuff and came back. I would call sometimes some guys, like some stores, say we need this. And like we had this price gun, click click, and then click click. Oh my God. I got shivers just talking about it. Right? It's not about the experience of like, oh, I was like a store clerk. Oh my God, no. They click click printing those sheets, man. It was one of the printer, like when we were doing our inventory, the printer with like the sheets with holes on this side. Like, I'm only 36, but still, that was one of the printer we had, and it goes and just checking off the list. Oh my God, like I'm such a nerd for like school stuff, like school supply and paper supply. It's amazing. Even last week for the event, I cut off because I printed draw ticket, but I didn't pay for them to cut them. I thought it would take longer, whatever. But I bought a paper cutter and I cut like 10,000 little coupons. Schling, just a oh, I can feel in my solar plexus, right? I get excited about these things. What is exciting for you guys? Like, right, when I was working at the cafeteria, I enjoyed pouring the soup in the bowls. We were doing poutine, which for those who don't know, it's like French fries with a beef gravy and curd cheese. So it's like cheese that goes quick when you eat them. It's so good. And then the cheese melts with, oh my God, if you come to Quebec, you gotta have poutine, okay? Poutine, if you go in French, Quebecois, but poutine is, oh my God. So that was our Wednesday. I think it was every Wednesday that was poutine day, or once every 2 weeks. But just scooping. And then at the end, I was a dishwasher lady, just like scraping off all like with the water gun thingy, like just like those jobs. And you can say, oh my God, she works at the cafeteria, like she has her net and like she's a reject. Man, I had so much fun. So am I glad I got rejected and instead of sitting at yes. Because later on, when I work in restaurant, I was working banquets. Oh my God, banquets were amazing. I love doing banquets. I love doing events. I had so much fun placing like the place settings, like the cutlery, the chair and the tablecloth, and like, oh my God, the napkins and like cleaning the cups. Oh, just all of this. And then at the end, when you come with all this stuff all at the same time with like plates in your hand and oh my God. At my wedding, like I said, at my wedding, I'm getting waiters doing a little choreography to bring me my food. I do not care. This is in the universe. It's happening. So watch out for that because I worked at it, right? Oh my God. Like you have to have fun, whatever job you're doing, because it makes life way more fun, way more enjoyable. I also work at Canadian Tire, which is a hardware store. And I went to work at the grocery store, like just for the beep, 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 beep. But I work at Canadian Tires and I was a cashier at first, which I enjoyed. Beep, the beep. Oh my God. Okay, it brings me joy. The beep brings me so much joy. Beep, beep. So I do love the self register when I go to stores, just because like beep, beep, beep. I don't care if somebody doesn't have a job. I'm like beep. I'm having so much excitement. So please, you guys, you gotta tell me in the comment. I don't know if there's a comment section where you're seeing this, but at least go on my website, marie-ève.com. Please tell me whatever, like how you guys can tell me what makes your heart beat fast at the job you're doing. Every single job that I've done, working at A&W in the kitchen, and it was putting the chicken nuggets in that oil, or counting like, okay, they ordered a chubby whatever, and counting how many pieces, right? I've never hated working at places. One place was a restaurant, and it was just because I was qualified to be a manager, and they decided to not go with a manager instead of training me. You want to feel shitty, excuse my language, well, make someone who's qualified to do the job not do the job and go without them instead. Anyway, but like I was a teacher working with kids. I did not like recess, but man, I enjoyed being at the front end. I was doing my show. This is why I'm doing like conferences and I'm on stage and teaching, because the world is my stage. It was not just my classroom that's my stage. The world is my stage. And it's so amazing. And then last week, my girl, she had her friend come over. So it's the first time we had a sleepover in many years. And I cleaned my house. Like I didn't want to clean the day before. I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow, once we get up, it'll happen. Well, and I'll be in alignment to do it. So that the night before, I was able to just enjoy and chill. And by the time she showed up, everything was done. The floor was clean, mop, vacuum, laundry was folded and put away. Like everything was done, because it's not that ADHD is not that you're postponing. Is you're gonna have the energy and your inner being is gonna make you do it all anyway. Why would I spend other time to do it, right? So we can say it's ADHD, but I do believe it's my higher self that says, do something fun. It's already done, girl. Whatever you want to done is already done. So do something else. And when it's time to do it, then it'll be done. And I always had the energy. Man, I was in alignment to that one. So just before I leave, oh my God, it's Easter weekend this weekend. And I am going to New York City with my girls, because on Saturday, my billboard is going to go live at Times Square. So I'm going to get this ready and get this get this show on the run. But I will get you an update from New York, because my God, my billboard has been planned since like September. Now we're April and it's finally happening. I'm enjoying my vibration. I'm enjoying that I'm releasing, and people will see me now. And I'm so excited. So I will keep you up to date on this. You guys, it was Marie-Ève Mongrain. I'm a mindset life coach. I share my story as a single mom, coach, widow, and I hope I've helped you. I know I have. I'm not going to hope. We don't hope anymore in this new paradigm. We know, and we choose to. So on this, you guys, I will tell you until the next show, which won't be too long this time. So you'll be good. All right, you guys. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.